Angela, I can't believe I've got you on, love.
Well,
I
thank
swear,
you.
thank you so
Yes.
much for coming
No,
on.
thank you very
I
much
think
for
that
the
you are a
invite.
big inspiration, and I've seen you really, really grow. And you're one of
Yes.
the people that actually pushed me, and you don't even realise it.
Really?
Yes, that
Right.
day when I was in your shop, remember with Chris Riley?
Yeah, years ago.
And he was like, do a live stream now, do it. And I don't know, he was wanting me to do it, but not wanting me to do it. And you were just like, just do it, just do it.
And then you started it.
I did it. And then from then I got off drugs and all then. It was like I was something to live for, and it was just changed me then.
And are you much better then in yourself?
Definitely. Hardly drink or nothing now, hardly really go partying. Changed a lot of my ways, I've calmed down a lot, but it's all about having something to focus on.
Yeah, I think that when you're working for sport, or maybe if you're doing for me anyway, personally, if I'm, because I've been doing this for decades now.
Yeah.
So it makes you've got your sport work, but then you also have your own work that you got to do on yourself.
Yeah.
And you got to combine both of them.
Yeah.
There's no point in going and working for somebody if you're off your head or you're blocked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you have to be able to take care of yourself as well.
And not be an avoidance too, I think.
Oh, completely, absolutely. But I think that it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
It's for me anyway, and changing is an ongoing process all the time. Yeah.
So Angela, welcome to the Upper Glen podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you on. I'm really, really excited. I wanted to ask firstly, what age were you when you got into what you do?
When I started, I was 24. So I started DJing when I was 21.
Yeah.
And I bought my first set of decks, and then when I was 24, it was like my whole life all changed around, and I thought my aspirations at that time were for DJing, because I loved it, and I still do love it. But I'm sure we'll get to that anyway.
Yes.
So so within them 3 years, I was sort of practicing the DJing and talking to people who work in clubs, nightclubs, and that's what I wanted to do. That's something that I was really enjoying. And then I went to the Belfast Spiritualist Church.
Yeah.
And when I went there, I seen the mediums on the platform, and I thought, oh my goodness, what are they doing? And something inside me just lit up.
Yeah.
And I felt this attraction. But at that stage, I hadn't lost anybody really close to me. So I didn't go there with the intention of wanting to connect to anybody. It was actually through a friend of ours that she talked about it it was an Ann Summers party that we were talking about. And she had brought up about the Belfast Spiritualist Church, and she said, sure, why don't we go this Sunday? So we went. And so while I was watching these mediums on the platform working, something drew me back again. And then I heard the lady on the rostrum, she talked about doing awareness classes, and I thought, why not? So I went along, and then that's when everything started then for me. So I was 24 and I'm 44 now, so that was 20 years ago. Yeah.
20 years. And was it hard? I know you come from a big family, loads of girls. And
do you know what? All my family are all into it. My mummy does readings. My sister, she used to do readings. My granny, she used to read the tea leaves. My aunt, who's passed over, she used to see spirit people all the time. All the time. I have another aunt, a great aunt in spirit, who used to see the auras. So it's all down my mother's line of family. And so we're all very open to it. So I got great support. I know some mediums, when they come out initially, I say come out of the spiritual closet. When they first kind of come out, people might be a little bit shocked. And maybe think that they're losing the plot a little bit. But because I come from a family where we're very open-minded in that way and spiritually minded, then I got great support.
Absolutely fantastic. So Angela, tell me about your book. I know that it's a bestseller. I know that from what I gather, it was COVID that really got your head down. And
so
I've heard everybody raving about it, by the way.
Have you?
Everybody.
Well, I have had good response. So for anybody that doesn't know, this is it. And it's called The Miracle of Mediumship. And it's called True Stories of Mediumship in the Afterlife. So I had a shop in Belfast here for 10 years. And I decided to close that down in September 2020. Just because of COVID. And my mummy she owned the lower shop part, even though I had the building. And she sort of wanted to semi-retire. And it just felt like it was the right time for a change. So we decided then, right, let's pull back. And I was still going to do online meetings because it was still during COVID, so I was still able to work. And then because I had a bit more time, I thought, I'm going to start writing my book now. I have time to write my book. And so now this is the strange thing that lots of people don't know behind the scenes. So in that September, I decided it wasn't just the change of the shop, but I was like you, I decided I didn't want to drink alcohol anymore. I had come through the end of a relationship in my personal life after many years, and it was like everything in 1 month in that September, I just decided something needs to shift. And so that's what happened. And I actually wrote a letter to God. I was absolutely stressed out. I mean, stressed out, because I was losing my relationship. I was deciding to make big major changes in my life. I was letting go of my shop, and my head was all over the place. So I got my pen and paper out. I'm really good at journaling, and I wrote a wee letter, and I said to God, please help me. I felt lost. I really felt lost, and I felt really anxious about all these changes that were taking place. And I said to God, please help me, direct me. And I just took a moment, and then I said to God, just write through me, almost like in a channeling way. Whether it was my soul, the universe, the angels, the spirit guides, whatever, something came. And what I wrote down was, write your book in July of next year. So this was in the September previous. And in the letter it says, and get it printed, and don't be stopping until you have this finished. So I wrote that, and then I sort of sat back and I went, that wasn't even the answer I was looking for. I didn't want it. It wasn't my intention to write a book. But when I seen that, that's when I decided, okay, when I have time and I get this together, I'm going to do it. So come the months onwards, in the July, I woke up one morning on the summer morning, and it was around the 12th of July, and I just decided, that's it, I'm going to write my book. And it took me from that July till the 1st of December of that year. So literally 5 months. I had it wrote, printed, all the graphics, edited, everything was done. And then I just self-published, and then that was it, sent off. And so I really feel that it was inspired whenever I wrote that in that September. That's it now, get this done. So that was my focus at that time.
So everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? Like,
I know, completely. So I love it, and everybody seems to really enjoy it.
Are you going to write more?
I am. I have another wee one on the go. So do you know what? I only got a C in my English GCSE. And so I always didn't think that I had the capability to sit down and write a book. But it just shows you that, you know, if you have the vision, and if anybody has a vision for anything that they want to do, it doesn't, I'm not saying that school doesn't matter, but it didn't teach me to do readings. It didn't teach me to do DJing. It didn't teach me to write a book. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to really believe in yourself. And even through that process, when I was writing the book, I just was constantly battling self-doubt all the time. Is people going to like this? Is this going to be good enough? What am I doing? I have never wrote a book. I don't even know what I'm doing. And yet I still had the vision. I still held on to that thought that I had received that last September. And I just kept pursuing it. And then it manifested. And now, because I've had great praise from it, I've decided I'm going to write another one. So I have a few wee stories already sort of on the go. Well, so it's early days, but it won't be done as quick as what this one has been.
You're definitely a novelist, I think.
Definitely. So I love it. I really enjoy it. I like telling stories. I think that I'm good at putting that out there with people.
So you do shows all over Belfast. Many of you at home will have been to see Angela. Whereabouts are you?
So at the minute, I've actually a couple coming up this weekend, Belfast Castle. So I don't know when you're going to edit this. So
it'll probably be the day tomorrow. So,
that's all right. So I've the Crumlin Star tomorrow night, and then this Sunday I have Belfast Castle, and then later in the month I have loads of dates. So if anybody wants to check anything out, just jump on the website.
Angela Dunlop.
Just AngelaDunlop.co.uk.
So Angela, tell me, anybody at home that maybe thinks they're a wee bit spiritual, or maybe wants to come to one of your classes, what would you say to them?
Give it a go.
Give it a go.
Give it a go. Do you know, if you feel an attraction or a pull, it's like me whenever I started off when I was 24, I didn't go with the intention of thinking this was going to be my career. I went out of nosiness and something within me, and I say now when I look back, I think that if you're pulled to mediumship in any way, it's a calling. But you might not realise that at the time. It's like somebody that wants to be a nun or a doctor or a lawyer or a mother or whatever it is that you want to be. You have a calling, you have something that is drawing you towards that. So if you want to do it, go and explore it and see if it's for you.
Well, I would say you're definitely one of the best people to be taught by. Definitely.
Well, thank you so much.
Loads of my friends I've been to your classes. One of my friends, Karina. It's like, tell Angela, you know me. And I just feel like there needs to be more classes.
There will be. And the lovely thing, whenever back even 20 years ago, and I know it's not that long, but even back then, the Belfast Spiritualist Church was the only place that people could go to for the Sunday service and see mediums work. And there was no very rarely would you have seen anybody in a hotel or in a pub or maybe even in a theatre standing doing mediumship in the way that I do. But now it's more widespread. So and the interest has grown over the years. So spirit need more mediums and natural mediums that are really good at it, but not just for doing one-to-one readings, but also for standing in the public, which is something that obviously you have an interest in.
Yes, well, I'm afraid I don't know if I could get on stage and do mediumship. I don't like that energy as such. Prefer to be one-to-one.
Okay, all right.
But you smash it, like I just...
See, to be honest, I love it. And yet I think that I would consider myself a bit more, I wouldn't say introvert, but a bit more quieter. But yet when I stand on the platform and I'm doing the work that I do, have great interaction and connection with the audience. And if you have that, and people thankfully trust what I do as well and have faith. So that obviously adds to it all. And I obviously have faith in the communications of what I'm receiving. So it just combines into a really good event and a good presence for people to see the work in action.
Yeah. I see a lot of your videos and all online. You can check Angela out on Facebook, on Instagram. She's been uploading a wee bit more lately.
Yes.
And it's good to see your validations and things and people saying the nights that you can go to. I think there's definitely more of a demand for spirituality now than what there was.
I think that people are getting a wee bit more in tune with themselves. You know, like for example, you know, we've chatted today about letting certain aspects of your life go because you realise it just isn't working for you anymore. And I was in the same boat, and I enjoy today taking care of myself.
Yes.
You know, I like working out. I do yoga. I do meditation. I do journaling. You know, I connect with other like-minded people. And so I feel like if you're on that track, and it's not to say that you can't have fun in the process. Do you know what I mean? You still need to have a good laugh. It doesn't mean you have to turn into this serious character. That, you know, it's all about the balance of it, isn't it? But as long as you're tuning in with you of what your energy and your spirit needs, then that's where you have to look at where the changes need to get a bit of balance in your life. So if there's something that's a bit destructive, or is it working? And that doesn't necessarily have to be something outside of you as a person. You know, it can be certain attitudes that you've carried around with you. You know, if you feel like you're not good enough, or you're not confident, or you're always very self-critical, or you put yourself down a lot, or you don't even like who you are, then that can be a change in itself. And what you're doing then is you're opening up more to who you are as a person and actually saying, you know what, I'm okay with who I am. And the thing is, you either create your own happiness or you take away from, and it depends on who you spend your time with as well. But when you're on your own, why not just enjoy your own company?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I keep saying this to people. I don't feel like people know how to be alone.
I know. And even the almost the addiction to social media nowadays too. You know, how often do we pull ourselves away from our phones?
Very, very rarely. A lot of people, very rarely. And most people, I think, have to feel connected all the time, sort of.
But it's good if you have an avenue that you can do something that you enjoy. You know, so you got to look for something that you enjoy. So what do you enjoy?
Interviewing fabulous people. I like spirituality too, but it's sort of my own therapy. I love it because it helps me be really connected to people. Obviously, I'm male, so men don't really have very deep conversations. So I feel like some don't, and that allows me then to be emotionally intelligent in ways that I could never be before.
And to be more open and vulnerable.
Definitely.
And what do you feel like you've learned over the last while?
The last while, Angela,
since you've made the changes too?
Definitely learned that I'm worthy. That's one of the things I'm really learning now, is that I'm worthy. But energy ways, that everybody's in the same boat, and you only think that you're the only one going through what you're going through. Everybody has a vice, no matter what it is, and it's just learning about what's a healthy vice.
I agree. So just put the thoughts out there. But if anybody is listening in, just take care of yourself and enjoy you for being you. That's it.
So I want to talk about your DJing, Little Miss Innocence. I've seen your DJing, you're absolutely brilliant, and you've been babysitting everywhere. Tell me a wee bit about that.
Do you know what? I love DJing, and a lot of people my work is as a medium. That is my job. That's my role. But it's not to say that you can have offsprings off that. And for a long time, even when I get more involved in this, I still have my decks, my records, all my equipment at home, but I wasn't putting myself out there as much. And then whenever COVID happened, I decided to start getting into it a bit more because I couldn't do events.
Yeah.
Because all the hotels, everything was closed down. So people were having garden parties.
Yeah.
And then I just decided, you know what, I'm going to start doing garden parties for my DJing. And it was a way then of expressing my music again, because I love being in front of people.
Yeah.
It's something I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So yes, so I started when I was 21. Gabrielle was only 6 months. And I went and got a set of decks.
Yeah.
My mummy was horrified because I brought them into the house and she was actually going to kill me because there was a new baby and I'm starting in my bedroom pumping music. But it was my passion even from the word go, and it still is today.
Yeah.
So I've played, I'm really grateful, like I have played in parts of the UK, in Ibiza. I've played loads of clubs around Belfast too over the years.
Yeah.
But now I do a lot of garden parties as well.
Yeah. So if you need a garden party, you know to get on to Angela.
Yes.
Angela, you must get asked all the time. Tell me a funny story about, you know, when you're psychic and people know that what you do, because you're very famous. What's it like being famous?
I'm not famous at all.
You are.
No, I am not.
You are. You
No,
are.
I wouldn't. I would not. No.
You are. You have to accept you really are.
No, I don't think, you know, my friend, she says, she makes me laugh, she says, oh, you're Facebook famous, you know, and I said, if people put it out, maybe if people see your face regularly, they may, but
do you get people asking you for readings all the time?
Sometimes people do ask for readings, but I'm really good with boundaries.
Yes.
So I think that years back when I was only training, and really my early years, I probably would have given a reading to anybody.
People don't realise sometimes you're just going out for a run.
Yes.
Or sometimes you're just going to get milk.
Yes.
And the car's beeping and all, people start nearly crashing the car.
Sometimes I see things with people, you know, if I am out and about, and the very rare time. And if somebody maybe does say, oh, you're Angela, you do the readings or whatever, and maybe if I am picking up on something, I might want to pass something on. But very rarely does that happen because I don't really tune into people. I tend to just, when I'm in work mode, I'm in work mode, but when I'm just normal, then you know, I think you have to be very grounded. You have to be really grounded. And if you think that you're special, then that for me, that's ego. So you got to keep yourself level-headed. Do you know what I mean? I'm just an ordinary person, like everybody else, but I might have an ability. People might see it as the gift, but it is an ability. You know, like somebody who's an absolutely amazing cleaner, you know, and that's their ability. It's their passion, it's their joy. Or somebody who's an amazing mother, or somebody that loves, you know, a dental hygienist. We all have our passions. You know, so if you think you're special, then you're putting yourself a little bit out there. So it's really important you be
ground up.
And keep the humility as well. But you can still really enjoy what you do.
Angela, I think you're fabulous.
Well, thanks,
I definitely do, and I think that your energy. People always maybe know you in reading mode or DJ mode, but I think just your energy being raw and real is fabulous.
Well, thanks a million.
And hopefully we see a lot more of you.
Well, thanks very much for having me on today.
I do. Angela's going to be on TV next, I know.
Well, by the way, so just if you've got this far in the interview, because maybe people have switched off.
I think I'll watch it.
Well, hopefully anyway, but if you are interested, The Miracle of Mediumship, you can get it on my website, a signed copy. It's $10.99, or you can get it on Amazon, and that's on the Kindle, or you can have a hard copy of it too. So thanks very much for having me today.
Yes, Angela, you've been a great guest, love. Thank you so much,
love.